Very good morning. Today, I would like to discuss an important topic on the charts. Actually, this is a quite interesting chart. Why we go for a chart? Even I too have a questions in my earlier days. Predominantly, I started as a developer with a kind of a tool. Predominantly, I worked on the tables, rows and column. So after quite some period, some years, I was fascinated to know about the charts. Over quite a big time period, I predominantly worked on the traditional BI tool. I'm very familiarist and very easy for me to develop a table chart. Table chart, I will say, a rows and column. There I implemented with the breaks, the master detail report, and the sub report and the URL reports. Typically, I work with a business object as a report developer. I started my journey with a BI tool, with a business object, and later I worked with multiple BI tool. So when the visualization, the buzzword came at the time, it was quite difficult for me to understand the data. And my mindset, my perceptions, I couldn't map my to the chart. How actually the chart is. You can see this one, this chart. You can see that you need to categorize either you are using one variable or multiple variable. If you are using one variable, is it ordered? If that is the case, then you need to follow this chart. If it is not ordered, unordered list, then you can go forward with the S pattern. If you have multiple variables, then you can follow whether it is order or unorder. You need to follow that. If they are having a hierarchy, then yes means you need to go with the Venn diagram. If no, then you need to go or they are ordered, then you need to go the kind of a chart that is provided here actually. This is a typical charts actually, especially in share market when the shares is gone black. You can see the higher and the lower, and when it was open and closed actually. By seeing this, sorry, it's very interesting for you to know about the charts well. This is a generic chart I am displaying here for your understanding. There are two type of data. One is discrete and other is continuous data. When you go with the discrete data, you can show the sales of a particular product or a sales of a different product in the bar chart and how they are performing, how they are the sales for per product. You can able to see via bar chart. Sorry. And you can see the column chart here. This is quite a interesting chart. On the column chart, you can able to see that when you are supposed to go with a bar chart and a column chart is that in general, I can suggest you go with the bar chart because right in your report, if you go with the bar chart, you can able to scroll down. If your access, if your data points is much more than 10 or 15, if it is your data points is below the 10, then you can go with the column chart. This is a kind of a generic, a kind of a thumb rule. When you want to display between the groups, then you need to go with a group column chart, bar chart. And the lollipop chart is what you can do is if you want to show the two patterns actually, the height and the dot actually. On top of the dot, you can display some value. On the height, you can show some value. Let's say you can display the two variables here actually in the lollipop chart actually. And the bullet chart is quite interesting. You will have a low value, higher value, and the median, as well as you will have the mm, outliers. You can able to easily find out from the bullet chart. And the dot plot chart you can able to see here. You can use maximum two variables, and you can see the differences between the two variables, men and women, the salary across the group, the maximum salary per category, and the minimum salary per category of a man. That you can able to see in the dot plot. Dumbbell chart is very quite interesting. The double chart will show the current and the previous year, whether they are doing performing well, how they are performing with the current year and the previous year. The same product, how they are performing last year and the previous year. The pictorial diagram, which give you a good effect, and the iconic chart, we know that the range chart that will display the range, how the product is sold between this range to that range actually. Radial chart also given the parallel coordinate table is quite interesting. The radar chart is a combination of your kind of a line chart and a area chart. And the waterfall chart, it's give you a kind of a discrete kind of a chart, but it seems to be a continuous along the page wise. The good thing is you will get the total value, total sum as well. The matrix chart and the quarter chart are more or less similar, and you can display in the thing, and you can see the categorical chart, plot chart, how it is different between these two charts. You can see the bubble chart. The size of the bigger bubble will be the higher. The size of the bigger size of the bubble is kind of a low actually. And this is quite interesting on the comparison, how they are performing, how the different group are performing against each other. Those kind of things that you can get it here in the comparison chart. The correlation set, how it is correlated. How it is correlated. So let's say if you want to group up a salary across multiple departments, then you can show it in the heat map actually. And in the scatter plot, you can display the marks of 30 students in your class by seeing that X and Y coordinates, and how they are performing, how the marks they are able to score over a period in 3 hours at test, how they are performing well. Those kind of a thing you can be able to get it from the chart. The part to hold is again an interesting chart. Here, the bar chart, the height of the bar, you can that tell you the maximum or a minimum. And the Mecca chart, it's a combination of height and width of a bar chart. Okay. And the trim up chart, it shows the higher the value, the higher the rectangle, the lower the value, the lower the rectangle. The higher the value at the topmost left, and the lower the value of the rectangle at the bottom right of the your chart here. The funnel chart will give you the higher the value and the lower the value. The sunbird chart is the card chart, circular card chart is quite interesting. The pie chart and the donut chart is the difference is that the look and feel on the donut chart is better than the pie chart, except you can see the white background of the circle. And the semicircle donut chart, especially if you're using speedometer chart, you need to use that chart here actually. And data over a period is a thing how it's a continuous data here. And the step line chart you can use with the step line with a area chart that giving appealing effect here. The pump chart will always give you, for example, if there are 10 brands, let's say Samsung, Reliance, and Apple, they're using selling the mobile, and you want to know about over 10 years how they are ranked. This bump chart will be your right chart. And the grand chart is interesting chart, and the area chart also, if you're using three or four variables, that is interesting actually. And the distribution chart, how they are distributed, data is distributed across the multiple categories. You can see the distribution in a group actually, that you can display it. This is with the geo map actually, how it is displayed. And this is a .NET dot journey. Dot journey I mentioned here is how we are represent the dot in a graph with geo locations as well as in a bar chart, and how we can show is the min value, max value along with the bar chart, the medium, average as well. And this is with the, you can see how the survey very satisfied why is very important. This survey also we can show it at that along with the line which is joined here actually. I hope this session is good today, and I will continue the next session continues by tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.